hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Revelations DLC. This is the second part to the Cursed Blood sequence, which is probably called something else, but once again, the naming convention can go suck a big fat vampiric penis. We're taking on some blood pools that have animated skeletons, and I'm just showing you the power of the chaos, the igneous Chrysanium. I can't remember the name of the sword. It's got an interesting name. I don't know, I really wanted his moveset to be really different than it is. In fact, I'm not even the biggest fan of his stance. When you're not doing actions, he stands in this really weird pose. Like, yeah, not too sure what's going on there. And I think he's got two ones. He's got one where he stands backhanded and one where he kind of stands forehanded. It's just very strange. But he looks so damn cool. I love his voice actor. You know, I really like his visual design. I think whoever designed this character, he was doing something wrong, doing something right all day at that particular moment in the dev process. It's a shame he didn't have more say on things, because this dude looks so good. I don't think he'd make much of a decent, you know, like stealth character, because he's wearing far too many things that would all jingle and clang and bang. But even so, he's pretty damn badass. You know, he's not going to be sneaking up on people, and if he does, he'll probably use the fact he can turn into a wolf or bats or everything. Which, you know, when you think about it, he's kind of got better powers than Dracula. Bit of a rip-off, if you ask me, being Dracula at this point. And I know he is technically the son of Dracula and all that kind of stuff, but still. But right there, did you notice how it said 0? If you've got keen eyes, you'll have spotted the cut. But it never went away, that 0. It perma-zeroed, and I couldn't ever turn that wardrobe back to being a wardrobe, which you need to stand on this puzzle coming up that I'm about to show you how to do. But this is a damn good looking game. It's just such a shame they fucked up so much of it. Just thanks to, apparently, the creative director, which I don't think it was probably all his fault. It's just a dev team that was either too afraid to say something or too afraid to stand up to him. And with the sounds of it, he was pretty psychopathic at times, from what the guy who, you know, whistleblowed said. But even so, like, you know, when you're working on a product and it's your job and you're there for years making something that you really believe in, and your creative director is sabotaging the game, I think I would risk my job at that point to confront him. And I've done it in either one of two ways, because this is generally how this works in a work environment. You either do it in front of everybody, so that you've got the illusion of strength in numbers and people will side with you so that you don't get fired, and if he fires you, he'll have to fire everyone. Or you do the complete opposite. You do it when it's one-to-one and it's your word against theirs, because then they'll have an incredibly difficult time at any kind of disciplinary hearing or any kind of act of dismissal, because they cannot prove it. They have no witnesses. And I would have gid as good as I could. I would have said, like, dude, we have all this money after the success of the game that we put our blood, sweat and tears into, and the decisions that you are forcing on this title do not fit this series. And I would have fought tooth and nail to try and get that across to somebody, because even if I was a fucking floor washer or a pot washer or a tea maker, I'd still been like, dude, you're turning into rats in Resident Evil labs more than you're fighting things in an action-adventure game. Wake up! Like, you do realise you're treading on leaves and instantly failing because the stealth in this section doesn't work. Come on, dude! Just, But unfortunately, there's not as many people that are as lackadaisical with careers as I am, mainly because, you know, at this moment in time I don't have a career, so it's easy for me to say, oh, I would have just told that guy to fuck you. When you're in that position, it's obviously very different. And every position I've been in that kind of situation has always been in a job that I didn't love or care for. So the people around me were pretty much there for the rest of their lives, and they knew it, so they had to be extremely tentative. And I was kind of the cocky student who always knew he was going to go on to different things. But This is one of the puzzles that's incredibly tight unless you use the bats to go through the fence, which I didn't do. Like, there's a gap just to my right, and you can hit the bats to get to the chandelier and then just run. But instead, I'm going to show you how to do it by boosting. And it's real close. But it can be done, as you just witnessed. And then now you have a mage who's... Those mages, man, they might be weak, but they've got some super cheesy moves. Like, that spell went through the geometry of the other soldier and hit me. That's some Dark Souls level bullshit, that one. So obviously you want to get rid of this guy first. Not only because he's noisy, but because he's dangerous. And then you want to use your Chaos ability, your Igneous, to smash up the armored dude with the mace. Armored dude with the mace, not much of a big deal. Unless he hits you. When he hits you, boy, does it do some damage. Like, look at that. The only time you're going to get hit by that move he just did, that little soldier, is if you dodge too early, because it takes a damn long to do the move. It's very strange that they would do that. Like, anybody who's worried that their reflexes are dulling with age, you'll have no issue with this game, because a corpse could pull off a dodge on that. Like, that one's much better, you see that? Only way I could have dodged that would maybe be a jump, and even then, it was really tight, because I was too close to him when he did it. The wind-up, the telegraph, was literally a second, and then he was attacking. That is how your attack should work. Like, if anything, the grab should have the wind-up that the big heavy hit did, because it's a grab. And you can't turn into a wolf to get out of it, so all the people used to turning into bats, unfortunately, they did not give Alucard the same strength. And I don't really use the wolf as a defensive tool in combat because it leaves you vulnerable. The reason why the bats were so good was because there was no corporeal you to smack. This game's got some really nice music too. So much good, but so much bad. It's pretty much games nowadays, you know, they really struggle to hit that margin of perfection, which doesn't really exist, but still is amazing to see people reach for it. Anyhow, thank you for watching, guys, and you take care now.